Future me, hit me with the intro.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beard and a Half Movie Reviews. I'm Garrett,
And I'm Tyler.
and today is episode 30.
Episode
We
30.
just figured that out. We finally hit the Dirty 30. That's exciting, though. Honestly, I feel like I don't know.
Are sodomized.
No, I feel like it took us longer to hit 30 episodes than I thought it was originally going to.
Well, you have to think. I mean,
We've taken a few weeks off.
There's been, what, 3 or... I think we've missed 4 weeks out of the... I mean, we've been doing this since, what, January 29th? When was our very first
That's
episode?
a very accurate guess. I have no idea.
February... Oh, wait.
January 20th.
January 20th. I'd like to point out, I was off by a day.
So what are we at, like...
We are on...
We're at 7 months of doing that? No, wait, more than that. I'm an idiot.
Well, no, you're not wrong. I'll say a solid 8 months of doing this.
Yeah.
8 months.
That's not bad. 8 months did 30 episodes. Why not?
1 episode a week.
We've had changes with the structure and everything else. We're still kind of loosey-goosey with it, but that's fine.
As we should be.
And then now we're actually recording video. For those of you that are listening on, podcast platforms, whatever they may be, if you would like to actually see the video, hop on over to our YouTube, Beard and a Half Movie Reviews. You have to put the S or else you cannot find us. I figured that out. We need to fix that. Yeah. You can't do Beard and a Half Movie Review because you will never find us. Beard and a Half Movie Reviews.
If we only ever made 1 episode and posted it, it would be Beard and a Half Movie Review, and then you could find us
just the one and done.
Yeah, exactly.
We just create a new channel every time we post a video.
So it's actually funny. I know we're not on topic yet, but we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking today when we were watching Velocipastor.
We'll get to that. That's the movie we're doing.
That's the movie we're doing. If you haven't figured it out already, shame on you.
By the title.
But so I was looking it up. We can actually post our podcast videos to Amazon Prime, and they would advertise them for free. They would get all of the money for it, but it takes about 3 weeks because some poor bastard has to watch the entirety of it, rate it, and then decide whether or not it's applicable to put on there.
So it's actually in like Amazon videos? Or...
Like Amazon Prime Video. We could just be on there.
But that would be our sole like thing.
No.
No, you can still do everything else?
Still do everything else. It would just be like if somebody with an Amazon Prime subscription was just scrolling through and found us.
Very strange. I don't know if I like that.
I was literally...
That's like, check out our podcast on HBO Max or something silly.
Yeah, go follow my Twitch on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I'm a fan of that, but we'll see.
It was just a very silly idea that I saw, and I was like, I'll never do that. But...
Such a squeaking.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was banging somebody
you guys
on
can
it.
Hear that? Gross. Sitting on this now. Okay, enough. Regardless, yeah, I don't know about that. That's a little too intense.
No, for sure. I do want to point out, and I know we're live. We're recording, whatever. We're not live. Sorry.
We're actually live.
So we've had a couple of different offers for promotions, and I was waiting to tell you about it for our podcast, but it's not like brands or things like that. It's other podcasts.
Oh, other people want us to
other people that have been listening to our podcast, they'll reach out and then they'll be like, hey man, listen to your podcast, loved it. Would you like to collab and just be like, at the end of your podcast, play this?
Yeah, and then they get on our podcast and everything else. I've heard of that's like a good way to.
So I'm not saying names or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing it out there. So the 3 or 4 that I listened to this week were hilarious.
What are their podcasts about, though, is the thing?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So one of the ones was all about sex.
I feel like we're the last people to be on that podcast.
I was so confused about it, but it's just because the tags that we have, because we're like explicit, because we cuss,
Yeah, it's true.
Literally the only reason. And
they were like, you cuss a lot. Come on our podcast and cuss on it.
What it was I get on there and I'm just like, I'm listening to, because it sends like a little audio intro, like what we were going to do for Spotify. And it was like, are you tired of being alone listening to stuff? Do you want to listen to us talk to you? And I was like, I think I'm done with this.
Why is this so sexual?
It was
so
30
quick?
seconds. I'm gonna pop a boner by the time that this is done.
It's a sexy
And
ASMR.
yeah, no, honestly, it was like a sexy ASMR thing, and I was like, you know what? Moving on. Done with that.
That's funny.
The
other
other
one was on dinosaurs.
it was Dungeons and Dragons. These guys do a 4.5-hour podcast every single day.
A 4.5 hour is it them playing?
No. So basically, there's like 7 or 8 guys, and they all rotate out who does the podcast each day.
Uh-huh.
And they just tell you a tale, and they act it out. And you're just listening to it. So like it's a scripted podcast. Keep in mind, with 8 other guys. That's like an hour and a half. But the narration and stuff they make up on the fly.
Yeah.
And then what they say and do. And so I listened to theirs, and theirs sounded amazing. But I was like, I don't know if a lot of people are going to tune into a 4-hour podcast and then get our audio bit at the end of it.
4-hour podcast is intense. I know some like history podcasts go that long, but I don't know if we could.
So like I thought about it, and I was like, I wish I could accept that offer. Maybe if it was like, a mid-roll or something like that. Like get it halfway through it, or maybe like 45 minutes in, but not at the end, no sir.
That's long.
And then the other one, what the fuck was? Oh, there were 4, but I don't remember the 4th one. The 3rd one was a movie reviewer. They watch movies every single day. But we have like microphones that don't sound like Xbox game chat, which theirs did.
Well.
And it sounded like you were in a Call of Duty Modern Warfare lobby.
God dang right.
And they were just doing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pass on this one too.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't mind doing that.
I just have to find the right.
But it's gotta. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be something either close to what we're doing, or, something I can actually talk about. Yeah, and get behind. If it's like fucking, we got a podcast about grass. What the hell am I gonna say?
We're not in a herb shop or anything like that, so I got nothing for it.
Yeah, we have a carpentry podcast. We'd like you to come on. What the fuck?
I am not Jesus, and I am horrible at building stuff.
I can't build shit, dog.
I put some lights up, but that took me a while.
I was just screwing some shit.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It took me way too long. Anyways, I feel like we got a little sidetracked, but that's okay.
Yeah, we'll think about it. If you're listening, you got a podcast that I guess is close to ours. I don't know. Maybe we'll be on yours. You can be on ours. We'll see how that works. I don't know.
Who knows? Fuck it.
Never done that before. Never even considered it.
I haven't either. I just like listening to like people's entries, because some of them are just like, they're recording on their microphone on their headphones, just like, hey, listen to your podcast. I really love it.
You gotta start somewhere.
And I mean, we've done pretty good for ourselves without even really
knowing what the fuck we're doing.
I mean, we don't even we don't have a brand or a marketing campaign, and we're not very good on social media. We don't have a
social media manager and stuff.
We have nothing. Too. We're just fucking winging it, and we're doing it. I'll say this. I mean, at least in every state except for 3 in the United States, somebody's listened to our podcast.
Yeah, we've had over like, what did I say earlier? Like 1,100 downloads.
All time, yeah. But if you think about it, in 8 months, that's probably about a download a day or a listen a day. So one person every day is listening to our podcast. So
it's not, yeah.
No, that's downloads, just downloads. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's I'll take that. I'll take 1 is greater than 0.
1 a day is better. I mean, that's like somebody taking their multivitamin every day. You know what?
Yeah, I'll take it. Why not?
Why not? And then it doesn't even count just the live streams instead of the downloads. So, I mean, we could be doing even better than we think. We just have no idea. Anyways, this week.
This week was interesting.
This week, I'm trying to...
Who told you about this movie? Because you sent me the text about it. Is it just a friend of yours?
Just a friend of mine. His name is... I'll just say his name is Joey.
Joey?
Joey is...
Joey that I met?
Yeah.
Okay. Joey, where the fuck did you hear about this movie?
So
It's like the most random one we could have picked ever.
this is like, I feel like as far as all of the movies that we've done thus far,
This is definitely the most random one.
this is the one that I feel like I'm gonna retire now.
This is so hold on, because what I wanted to do was not only obviously the movie we did this week is the Velocipastor, okay?
Yeah.
And it is exactly as it sounds and much more. I'm just going to read you a brief synopsis of this
Please
movie
do.
because I wanted to read this because it's so on point. Just hold on a second. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
At first horrified by this new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime, period, and ninjas, period. That is the movie.
It's like a 75-minute movie.
When I was told it's yeah, I wrote it down. I think it's like 71 minutes. I watched it on Amazon. Did you watch it on Amazon? I don't know everywhere it's available. I believe it's on Amazon.
So if you have an Amazon Prime membership, it's there. It's free literally everywhere
yeah,
else.
I see it on Prime. I don't know if
I
it's
saw
on
something like
anything else,
Crackle, and like all of those
Oh,
weird off base free movie streaming service.
Yeah,
you,
there's a
you
lot of
can
them.
literally find this movie somewhere for free. But if you have a Prime membership, it's
Free,
there.
yeah, we just hopped on there and watched it. Yeah, whenever you told me about the movie, I immediately shot over to IMDb and I started looking at it.
Which I don't
And
understand.
I read that exactly and I was like, what the fuck are we about to get into? But then, surprisingly enough, I looked up all the reviews of this movie. Everybody gave it 10 stars. 10 out of 10. I don't understand it. And once you watch it, you understand it. For those of you that are listening, I'm assuming you probably have not seen this movie. If you have, kudos. I never even knew it was a thing until we watched it.
Yeah.
And it's different.
It's almost like I don't know.
There's nothing to compare it to.
There's literally nothing.
It's like it's like
such an OG movie.
it's like Sharknado in a sense of like just the most like dumbest thing you could pull out of your ass and then mash together, but at the same time it's so
It has like 3 different shot styles. It reminds me of like a Tarantino movie on some of how it does stuff.
oh yeah.
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
also like I was about to say Kill Bill, but I mean
no. I mean that's Tarantino, but
yeah, I know. And like, you know how The Office is shot just with cameramen just running around.
yeah, just over the shoulder
Yeah.
kind of no. There's plenty of that and it's definitely apparent with how many like one of the things I was laughing about was all the times they were like zooming in at random shit.
Yeah.
Like when people were talking and everything like that. And I was like, stop zooming in so much.
Do you not enjoy the zoom?
But I do when it's needed and when it's like, you know, for a reason and shit like that. But whenever you're just zooming in at random shit for no apparent reason, yeah, it's just fucking weird. It's like zooming in at me when I'm talking, zooming in at you whenever you're talking, and then zooming in. It's so back and forth.
Oh shit, I fucked it up. But I was watching on, you know.
He messed up our screen. Wonderful.
I didn't mess it up. I can fix it. I just was zooming in on us. I can super zoom into nothingness.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that's nothing. Is it fixed?
Yeah,
We're good.
We're back to normal.
Back to normal.
Just for everybody watching, everybody listening, we were already normal. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong.
Nothing
No
changed for you.
issues.
Anyways, yeah, so
You know how I told you that I was distracted when we watched Waiting?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like our 3rd episode on.
Mhm.
I got almost all the way through the movie.
Mhm.
And then I don't remember what happened. I think I was taking notes on my iPad, and then I just started doodling. And so that's why I don't have my notes. They're on my iPad in the other room. But I started drawing a dinosaur. And I
They're
missed,
drawing a Velocipastor.
and I missed. Like I
Keep wanting to
remember
say Velocipriest.
Velocipriest. Still going.
Velocipriest. That's gonna be the sequel.
Yeah.
Velocipriest.
And then we got Tyrannosaurus Pope.
When did this come out? 2018, and yes, has a runtime of 1 hour and 15 minutes.
75. Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the cast list, but you're not gonna know anybody
Nobody
that's
here.
in this movie. Greg Cohen
I love
plays
him.
the main character, Doug Jones,
Doug
like the
Jones.
most generic white person name ever.
So hairy.
It's got George Schinzer? Schwinzer, we'll just say that. Janice Young,
Schwinzer.
Daniel Steer, Claire Soup, Nicholas M. Garofalo.
Oh, like Bill Garofalo.
I don't think so. And then Alyssa Kempinski.
Was she the hooker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of these people have been in anything that I know of.
You wouldn't know him.
The main character, Greg Cohen, he's been in a movie called The Little Water, The Blue Marble, Strange Angel. Apparently, it's a Paramount Plus original. He was on NCIS Los Angeles. He voiced some characters in Red Dead 2. He's on Blacklist. Basically, just a whole bunch of probably supporting roles or something small.
Yeah, this guy is not a main actor by any means.
None of
necessary.
these actors are main actors. Not even like C-list actors. I don't
This is
know
almost-
one person that was in this
Almost
movie.
like you. Sorry for the crude reference. I know we were talking about porn, but it could just be like one of those random people that walk by in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
No.
Nothing else.
I literally put in my notes that this movie was shot like a damn porno. Like it literally is. If you picture this, I put this in here too. If you picture like a high school drama club or something like that made a movie, you know, with their pocket change, but you know, between like the 15 or 12 or 15 of them, it would be the quality of this movie.
I feel like they would at least do a little bit better because they have more props.
Probably, and that's what I was gonna say. And I feel like this movie was like that because they wanted it to be like that. This movie knew it was garbage. Like I literally, I'm just gonna read this what I wrote. Okay, this is a movie that's terrible, and it knows it's terrible. It has zero shame. They knew this was gonna be garbage and just had fun with it. It is what you would expect of your high school drama club made a movie with their pocket change. The props are terrible. The dialogue is terrible. The costumes are terrible. The dude is dressed up like a priest and is wearing all white Chuck Taylors. I was baffled by that. The shoes, they had ninjas in it. Some of the ninjas were wearing Nike, or not Nike, Vans. And then the scene, the random ass scene with the flashback to war, which made absolutely no sense. The soldiers were wearing Vans. It was whatever.
They're off the wall, dude.
The costume's terrible, but somehow it is good. It embraced the fact that it was going to be bad and just rolled with it. Like I said, zero shame. If you love low budget, absolute dog water movies, then you'll like it. Do not expect this movie to be serious because it is everything but that. And that's like my overall review of this.
I was going to say, I mean, as far as a low budget film goes, they did the best with what they had. I mean, it was better than The Room still, so.
I don't know.
All right, acting
maybe
wise?
Maybe no, not acting wise. I feel like this had better acting than The Room.
That's what I'm saying. This was
yeah,
better.
acting wise, but like as far as the budget goes,
High
it definitely
Velocipastor.
it had like a third of the budget of The Room. Probably not even that because Tommy Wiseau spent a lot of movies.
That's right.
A lot of money on that
he spent
movie.
like $1 million or something
yeah,
like that.
no, this is like I'm assuming they made this movie with a budget of what'd you say?
The costume and then all the blood and.
I'd say $15,000 to $20,000, and the only reason I'm going that high,
$15 to $20.
the only reason I'm going that high is because I'm thinking of the cameras. I'm thinking of all of the extras and the actual actors, because there are quite a few actors in this. Yeah. The costumes looks like they went to a thrift store and then just bought some stuff, or they went to a Halloween store. The that was one thing. As soon as I started watching it, I was like, "Is the Velociraptor going to be animated, or like CGI?" You know what I'm saying? Or is it going to be a dude in a Velociraptor costume?
from.
And it's a dude in a Velociraptor costume.
And it just
It looks like he just got it from like Spirit Halloween or some shit.
it looks like in some scenes it's like a paper mache.
Yeah, like those rubber like.
No. One
some
particular
of the
scene,
stuff, yeah, I
it
can see
looked like
that.
a paper mache or like someone fucking I don't even know.
I was even laughing because, like, at the end when he's fighting all the ninjas as the Velociraptor, you can see the hole, like, in the crotch of the Velociraptor, like, where he gets in and out of it, and it's just fucking. It was what it was. Like I said, it knew it was garbage. It knew it had no budget and just ran with it, dude.
It's almost like what I don't even think what was it, Kung Pao? Remember that movie?
Kung Pao, actually, yeah, I do remember that movie.
It was kind of like that though.
That movie had a huge budget though, surprisingly enough. That movie was like,
I mean, the Neo.
90% of that movie was him in front of like a green screen.
I know, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's still.
I could still green screen myself.
It's
into
along
something.
the lines of like, yes, like a garbage movie that knows it's just having fun, dude. That's really all it is. It's just having fun. It's a movie that just has fun with it. And in the first, that's what I texted you to ask you if you watched it. In the first not even 5 minutes, I'm going to say the first 3 minutes of the movie, it starts with your main character, Doug, right? Yeah, Doug. And he's, at church, sermon or whatever. And it gets done and he goes outside and his parents are waiting. And he's like, "Hi, Mom and Dad." And then their car explodes.
And then they wave back, and then it just says SFX.
It literally says SFX explosion.
And then,
the words. There's no explosion. It's a shot of a parking spot with no car. It literally just says the words. Like, it was like one of those things that while you're like making a movie before like, you go and edit or whatever, like post and everything like that. It's like what you throw up to like show you like, okay, and this is where we're going to put that there. But they just left that in the movie.
But like, he went through the full emotional range of just watching a car explosion happen, but
and there's literally nothing. It's just the words across the screen, and that's it. Even like whenever towards the end, whenever he asks the girl, he's like, "Are you fine?" Like after she got sliced and then came back or whatever, ended up being fine, and she's like, "I'm fine," and he's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "I'm fine." And then it says across the screen, "She's fine."
Yeah.
What the fuck was up with that?
She's fine.
There was so many random things like that. Whenever he fucking tore the head off the lead, I don't know if it was like a triad or what, Yakuza.
Oh, when he took off his head.
Yeah,
it was just a mannequin.
Obviously a mannequin with like the most like racist fucking eyebrows and like face set up to look like a Chinese person or whatever. But then it literally just pauses in a random Gandhi quote comes across the screen. And I thought that was like the end of the movie. But no, it just cuts right back to him like putting down the head and then the rest of the movie rolls. And it was just so random.
It was
all of the time. But it was funny. That's another like the war scene, okay? So he's a pastor, a priest, or pastor. Sorry,
something.
If there's a difference, I have no idea. I'm not the most religious person ever, a pastor and a priest. Regardless, whenever his
both touch
colleague, we'll say colleague, another pastor, priest, or whatever, figures out that he turns into a Velociraptor and fights crime, kills bad guys, basically. He's like, okay, we have to do a seance because you have to be exercised, whatever. So he takes him to this like voodoo magic guy.
Yeah.
And then it randomly cuts to the older pastor, and he's like, I haven't seen this guy since the war. And then it shows like a 10 to 15 minute clip of him in this war, which has
it's almost like Vietnam, but this guy is clearly like 30 years younger than him.
Yeah, they literally just put on hair to make himself seem younger,
like,
but it's it's an old guy. And it looks like it was shot in a backyard that
With
had
just,
some
like,
trees.
And a real shitty barn in the
Yeah.
background. Yeah.
But what was cracking me up was not only all that, and then like his girlfriend randomly shows up and explodes. And you could tell somebody was like waiting and probably had like a green screen on the right hand side of them with him sitting in front of him, and then just threw a bucket of fake blood on him.
Shit crazy.
And then they added in post like a fake explosion, which looked like absolute dog shit. But regardless, all of that was dumb, and it was like that was random. But what's even more random was I realized throughout that whole scene, it never even shows the seance guy.
Yeah,
like it made no sense. I haven't seen him since the war. Cut to a whole flashback where this guy doesn't even show up.
Not even a little bit.
It was just so random to throw in there, and it was like another backstory for a character that we didn't care about that loses an eyeball later.
Yeah. Just so we're on the same page, the seance dude kind of looked like a really goth version of David Blaine.
He looked like, to me, he looked like almost like Doctor Strange. If Doctor Strange was, have you watched Venture Bros?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember like the dude that's like the I don't want to say wizard or whatever, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
he looked exactly like that guy to me.
I was gonna say, for me, he kind of looked like the lead singer of Green Day and David Blaine had a kid, and that kid was him.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. Kind of like a little bit of slicked back hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Also, that's something else I put in here too that was so random to me. The main character, when he's not in his pastor get up, it looks like a fucking greaser from the 50s and 60s. He's wearing like a white, white beater
or whatever
with a leather coat, jeans that are rolled up at the bottom, and then his white Chuck Taylors. And I'm like, what the? Why?
This movie had like no sensible. Like,
I think the most expensive part of the whole movie was probably, you remember in the beginning the car he was in? It was like an SS Chevelle or something like that. Probably the money they spent to rent that car, if not one of them already owned it, but let's just say they rented it, that was probably the most expensive thing of the whole entire movie.
Yeah, I would say so.
100%. Even the nunchucks were foam. And I'm a nunchuck connoisseur.
They were foam.
They were foam. It was...
I think my favorite part was whenever they go to the like the Yakuza camp, whatever the
it was like there.
And then you just see this. I don't know why they were there. The ninjas that were just doing kicks.
Yeah, there's the hookers beating them up. Yeah, all of a sudden the hooker knows karate and is just beating up ninjas and everything like that.
And I didn't understand it at all, but I was like,
what I didn't understand was whenever he's in the forest and then the ninjas, like the three ninjas show up. And then one of them had an Australian accent. That's the most random thing to me.
Just ninjas have.
They were all Chinese, the dudes on the side, but then the one guy in the middle was like he literally said, what did he say? He walked up and he was like, "Hello, mate," like right, and he's dressed up in full ninja getup, and he's a part of this like Chinese Yakuza group. I don't know.
I'm about to kick you right from down under.
Yeah.
And Mike.
So random, and
I didn't understand it, but I thoroughly.
It made me laugh so many times. That's why I was so worried that it was gonna be like serious, you know.
I was really hoping it wouldn't be a serious movie because I was mine.
Well, that's what in that first like 3 minutes during that VFX explosion. That's how I knew. I was like, this movie's gonna be great because it knows it's stupid and it's running with it.
I feel like this is one.
I'm on board for that.
It's one of those movies that you watch like once just for the aesthetic of it.
Oh yeah, I would never watch it.
And then never again watch the movie. But you'll be like, what's a good mind-numbing video? Like I feel like for anybody that does drugs out here, I'm not saying anybody does, but if anybody's listening to our podcast, this episode in particular, go ahead and take some drugs and then watch this movie.
Drop some
acid.
acid.
And then message us on Instagram and tell us how that was.
It'd probably be even better.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
it'd be a lot more believable.
If I went to like a shop and bought some edibles and just fucking sat down and watched this movie, I'd be like, whoa, man.
VFX explosion. Whoa, yeah.
And then you just see like some sort of Michael Bay explosion and just make it up on your own.
Maybe.
You just let your mind take over at that point.
I was looking at the director to see, because after I finished it, I wanted to know if like he's done any other like just absolute bullshit
He's
movies.
directed every episode of Charmed on TV.
No, he literally, the director is Brendan Steer. all the movies he's directed are nothing that are even close to this. And I mean, he doesn't have a lot. It's only 9. This was actually the last movie he directed. I see that now. But there's a Velocipastor trailer that he directed, so I don't even know if that counts. All of his movies, they're mainly short films. I see that now, 8 to 4 minutes to 25 minutes. Regardless, this guy was like, I'm going to one and done this movie I had a dream about one night, and we're just going to make it a reality. A pastor that turns into a velociraptor. And out of all the dinosaurs.
Yeah, and it looked like a T-Rex. I hate to say it.
It did. It was a tiny T-Rex, but it's even whenever he was like half going into like Velociraptor mode, he was literally wearing gloves.
Just the T-Rex gloves that had like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And that was it.
But
and you could see at the bottom, like you could clearly see where he had just put it on.
Exactly. Excuse me. But I did like how they added the
eyes.
Yeah, the eyes. They popped in some like fucking I don't even know if you want to call those Velociraptor.
I don't know what
it looked like fucking cat eyes that were like he just popped in his eyes.
It looked like he was Dayman,
with it.
Fighter of the Nightman. Velociraptor.
Yeah. So strange. So out there.
It's good though.
You don't have your notes. But I'm gonna go over my likes real quick.
Go ahead.
I kind of already talked about some, so I'm not gonna bring those up again. Frankie Mermaid, the pimp.
Yep.
I liked him.
I did too.
Surprisingly enough.
I liked when he took off his hat and then like
he
just
has
has long hair and there's like 4 straight hairs begging for life going into
his super long hair, and then as soon as he takes off his pimp hat, he's just got this. Because like I mentioned, this movie has a hooker in it. Yeah. I'm gonna be a little more descriptive this time than normal reviews because I'm sure none of you guys have seen this movie.
Or will.
But she walks up to her pimp. And this is like in the first, however many minutes of the movie.
Like 10 minutes.
And I don't remember her name exactly in the movie because I think they literally said it one time.
They said, hey, bitch.
Yeah, the hooker walks up to Carol. That's what it was. Carol walks up to Frankie Mermaid and she's like, Frankie or whatever. And he's like, Carol. And he's like laughing all of a sudden. Slaps her. Most random thing ever, and then he's serious, and he's like having a discussion about how her hooker ways or whatever like that.
Her hooker ways.
But he was so funny, and then later he's in the confession or whatever, and he's fucking just the whole conversation. All of his dialogue was funny to me, and I mean all the dialogue in this movie was dumb and funny, but his was like especially funny, and I don't know. I just thought he was a funny character that they threw in there. The way he took the dude's head off when he very first turned into the Velociraptor, and he meets the hooker Carol for the first time, and he runs into the forest. Yeah, the dude's there's a robber trying to rob the hooker. Of course, she's like, I don't have any money or whatever, and then all of a sudden, here comes Velociraptor Doug, and he kind of scratches at the guy, takes a few bullets or whatever, and at this point, you don't actually see him in his whole get-up. It's just like close shots of his face and his claws, which, like I said, look like fucking paper mache and rubber. Mm-hmm. But then the robber's standing there, and the camera angle's behind his head, and you just see the Velociraptor not bite his head off, just literally fucking smacks it off, and it goes flying. Like, takes his head and just...
It's like you're teeing off a golf ball.
Exactly. And that's how the guy got beheaded. And there was, like, fake blood and everything else. And I was like... Just the most random way, I guess, to take off somebody's head whenever you're a dinosaur. But I guess...
I would have gone for, like, a proper chop.
I can't say they're really shooting for realism in this movie, obviously. If you could turn into any animal, what would you turn into?
Probably a bottlenose dolphin.
Why?
I would not.
I would not.
I would go
I've been thinking about this because I wanted to ask you this, but then I started thinking, like, well, he's going to ask me, and I have no idea what I'd turn into.
Fuck. You've put me on the spot, and I feel like I have to come up with something in, like, 5 seconds.
I've been thinking really hard about this. I think I would either be...
Would I be a land creature, a water creature, or
just
an
a creature of any kind?
Yeah, but I
this
know.
Guy's a dinosaur.
It could be anything.
So it kind of opens up the possibilities. See, I wouldn't want to be anything too aggressive. Like, I wouldn't want to be like a dragon. So everybody's going to try to kill me.
I feel like I would be either like an ostrich Or like
Ostrich, because
Yeah,
you can
dude.
run fast? Or
Yeah, dude.
dig your head in the dirt?
And like their necks are fucking weapons.
Shoot, like a giraffe? They're just
Yeah,
fucking,
exactly.
yeah, that's true.
Or even like an otter, just to chill. I'd like to know what it's like to just float around and do nothing all day.
See, I would want to be something that's not like if I was an
You want me
otter.
to be like not an apex predator?
Yeah, but that's
something
what
higher
I'm
up on that
saying. I
spectrum.
don't want to be like an apex predator, but also I don't want to be something that's not, because then you're constantly worrying about that.
Then I would say an orca.
An orca, okay.
I mean, they literally bully sharks.
This is true.
I don't know if you've seen any of the nets.
Yeah.
They'll like fucking hit sharks, so they go upwards and they'll stun them, and then they'll just bite their.
They got the horns, right? Orcas?
I don't think so. No.
I thought they had a really big horn. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're thinking of the thing from Elf.
No, I'm thinking of like.
Bye,
yeah.
buddy. I hope you find
Wasn't
your
that an
dad.
orca whale?
No.
Maybe I'm
What are
wrong.
you thinking of that has a? Oh fuck! I'm googling. I'm
Oh, you
googling.
Google it. A unicorn whale. That's what I was thinking.
Orca
Of.
with horn.
I thought it was just orca had like a single horn. Am I crazy? Am I just watching too many
you-
fucking Christmas cartoons?
You're thinking of a narwhal.
A
Yeah.
narwhal. There we go. I was thinking of a
There you go.
narwhal.
You could be a narwhal.
I
though,
don't want
and
to be a narwhal.
you
I
could
don't want to be an
harpoon-
amphibious.
Just imagine how shitty
Animal,
it would
though.
be to be a narwhal, though, because you could harpoon your food but never eat it.
I was thinking I want to be two things. I want to be a lemur because I love lemurs.
You hang out with the Kraft brothers.
Like,
Zaboomafoo.
oh yeah, Zamuma. That's true.
They're
I want to be a
the-
lemur or I want to be a monkey.
They're the same. Well, not the same.
They're not the same, but like if I was a monkey, like nobody would try to hunt me because they'd be like, "Oh, it's a monkey."
They're trying to capture you, though.
Yeah, that immediately what my mind went to when I said that out loud was like,
Harambe.
no, just them doing like experiments on monkeys.
It's no. Most of that's hair products or makeup. They look cute.
I don't know about that. Okay, I want to be a lemur. That's what I would
I would
be.
just
It's
take
not like too aggressive. In fact, I don't think it's aggressive at all.
Oh,
But I could parkour like a motherfucker.
imagine like a meerkat.
A meerkat.
Just imagine that. Because what would the underground? We've never seen the underground. It could be like a giant man cave, but for meerkats.
I'm sure it's literally a man cave
a mere cave.
of
if
just
you will.
mere cave. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
That'd be good.
When I was in
I'd hate to be a mole because I'd get killed by a lawnmower instantly. I'd
After-
be like, what's this noise? Decapitated.
after high school, I moved to Tennessee whenever I worked for that production crew. And there
the
was a
Bang
guy
Bros.
that worked for us. His name was Steven, and he looked exactly like a meerkat, like had the shaved head and everything else. And he did like a spot on meerkat impression.
I sound like Timon.
And now every time I think of that, I think of him. Now, like, I mean, maybe, kind of. He had a higher pitched voice.
Dude,
He's also a big old dork.
I don't know. If I like honestly, if I'm going for on land, I feel like maybe I don't know. I would want to be like a snake or something like that.
I was
Like-
thinking about that, versatile and everything like that, but also I don't want to scare everybody, you know?
Well, like I mean, there's snakes that just eat small rodents and that's it. They don't fuck with people.
That's
People
why I
fuck
want to be a
with
lemur.
snakes.
I'm pretty sure lemurs just eat like berries and shit.
Dude, you could be a panda or like one of the.
I don't
what's
want to
the-
kill anything.
What's the red fox? Or whatever
Oh,
it is, the-
I would be a red fox, but I also feel like
Yeah, I would do that,
I
dude.
feel like there's a lot of people that kill red foxes.
They are an endangered species.
Yeah, I don't want to be a red fox. I want to be
Yeah.
a lemur. I
Yeah.
feel like lemurs are endangered species too. They're only at like one part of the world.
You could be a polar bear and just try and go to closest land and
See-
just mate with all the bears and just bring back. Your
I thought
population.
about a regular bear, which led me to a polar bear, but a lot of polar bears drown and die apparently.
I mean, it would make sense if they
It's
just float
swimming out in
away
the Arctic and everything like
and their
that.
fur
or-
weighs them down and then they get tired.
walking on ice and they just fucking fall.
Literally
through
walking
some
on
shit.
thin
Yeah.
ice and just.
Yeah, I don't want to be a polar bear.
Take
As
that,
much as I
Coca-Cola.
love Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
exactly. That reminds me of the same place there. I can't do that. I want to be a lemur.
I feel like I would.
I just want to jump around in some trees.
You know what? Now that you say that, I'd like to be a bigger version of a lemur and be a kangaroo. That's what I would want to be.
Okay.
Final answer.
I don't feel like kangaroos and lemurs are similar at all.
They
Maybe
jump
like a lemur
around.
and a squirrel. Yeah, but yours is on the ground. Mine's like tree to tree, branch to branch.
Then it's a sloth, man, and I will fall to my death grabbing my own arm, thinking it's a
Sloth
branch.
would be cool. I could be a sloth.
You literally,
Just
once
like
a
the
week,
laziest son of a bitch ever.
you once a week go down to the bottom of a tree to shit. That is, no, I swear to God.
And that is the highlight of your life.
I did one of those nature documentaries where I voiced over, and I was just like, and today we have the sloth. The sloth is an average creature that goes about 1 kilometer per hour. Like, I swear to God, they do not move fast.
No, I know.
And,
I've seen them at the zoos and everything else.
Once every week, 7 days. If they have to shit, they crawl down to the bottom of a tree to shit. But that is most of the time when they die. And on average, I think it's 35% of sloths fall to their death because they mistake their legs.
Live for?
I don't know. Alexa, what's the average lifespan of a three-toed sloth?
Here's something I found on the internet. A three-toed sloth's life expectancy is 12 years in the wild.
12 years?
In captivity.
Well, obviously in captivity.
Okay.
Ask it about a lemur.
Alexa, what's the average lifespan of a lemur?
Here's what I found on Lemur's Wikipedia page.
I can hear the one in the living room.
27 years.
27 years. I got you beat. Yeah.
Okay. You want to beat me? Okay.
I think it was
I'll be a tortoise.
I think it was.
I'll be a Galapagos tortoise.
I wouldn't want to be a tortoise, but I think it was on Disney. They have like that. Is it Life show or something like that?
The lemur, the one that has.
It's just one about like animals and stuff like that.
Animals.
I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I watched the one on lemurs. And I already liked lemurs, but after watching that, I was like, I love this even more. Like, their main thing they have to do is, like, don't touch the ground because predators will get you. And then be careful hopping through trees because occasionally you'll get a thorn. That's life.
I feel like if I were a lemur, though, I'd be jumping through trees and grab a snake on accident.
Yeah, I'd be hanging from my tail and everything else. I'd be having a hell of a time, man.
That's why, like...
It's nice where they live and everything else. I'm
always thought of just being like a capuchin monkey. You know, just big fucking chilling. I would never get touched. But like, okay, this isn't the theme. If you could be one dinosaur, what would you be?
Triceratops.
Okay, so
without a doubt, yeah. No, I've thought about this very heavily.
Stegosaurus.
Whenever I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Power Rangers, and you know how they were all dinosaurs and everything else.
Yeah.
I was always like, I want to be a Triceratops. That would be my Ranger dinosaur.
See, I've always thought
They're
of like
badasses, and they're herbivores, and they just eat grass, but then they got the fucking horns, and they could fuck you up, man.
That's why I always like the Stegosaurus, because like I imagine if a predator tried to jump on me, they would just impale themselves, and I could carry their carcass on me.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
it's
like, hey, stay away from me. This guy jumped on me. I didn't kill him, but he fell on me.
So it's there.
Like, he's just chilling. Like if you want to see him, he's on my back. But
okay, you're gonna be pissed.
What?
I have to pee. I'm gonna run through the last couple things of my likes and then cut for a piss break. I'm sorry. Liquids have been flying through me today.
You drank like 2 energy drinks since you've been here.
I've been tired all day trying. We'll move on to yours or whatever. If you even have any that I haven't listed. Just playing on how dumb this is, and it really went for it. The high five. Whenever him and the girl are talking about the plans.
I thought they were gonna fucking kiss.
I did too, and then all of a sudden it was just the most random thing. It was so. It wasn't even that good. It was like a.
It was like, you know, the missed one.
It was so random. He's talking about how he's going to be a Velociraptor, you know, superhero, whatever. He's going to kill bad guys, and they have to have a code and everything like that. And he's like, okay, let's do it.
I would freeze frame.
I know. It was like, that's what you thought was going to happen because it was just so ridiculously stupid to put in there.
It was honestly just a waste of time to do that.
That was pretty much it as far as my likes, though. And then once again, I'll just add that this movie was shot like a damn porno.
So, I will say I did have a couple of likes that I still vaguely remember.
Okay.
I just enjoyed in the movie whenever the pimp, I forgot what his name is already. Yeah, it's okay. It's not
Frankie Mermaid.
Frankie Mermaid.
Yeah.
He goes in to confess.
Because why did he say his name was Frankie Mermaid?
I don't.
Because he's swimming in ditches. That's what he said.
That's it. When he goes in to confess, and he just lights up a joint.
Yeah.
You can't smoke in here. He was like, Frankie Mermaid smokes wherever Frankie Mermaid likes. And then you just see the smoke going through the
He
screen.
said Frankie Mermaid is on fire all the time or something.
Yeah, so stupid. I just enjoyed that. And then I enjoyed the the Vietnam flashback. And then so keep in mind, you assume that they're either in Vietnam or some foreign country.
Some big war that has happened.
Even though it looks like it's shot in a backyard. Because you can hear the VFX, or just a sound effect of a helicopter flying over.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't see one of the.
Well, not only that, they were sitting against like a metal tin, like
it was like a shack.
a shack
a
that's
barn.
got spray paint all over it and everything like that. So it's like it wants you to think they're in a different country, but at the same time, there's English words all over the shack, so it doesn't really make any sense.
So then the dude's girlfriend shows up, and just out of nowhere, and I was
Which was so random.
Huh, weird. And then she just runs forward, and like you said, she hits a landmine and just explodes into blood.
They're at their camp, mind you, and they have a landmine 6 inches in front of the character that this is about.
Yeah.
And it made absolutely no sense, but
just like,
she
you know
just
what?
immediately just blood on him.
That's pretty much it for my likes. Just we already went over them really, but those were my favorite parts.
There was a lot of parts that I laughed at. I'm not gonna go through every single one of them, but yeah, I don't know. It was so fucking weird, man.
It was something.
My dislikes though, the Jedi mind trick to get the sword. At the end, whenever he goes up against the Yakuza or whatever, and then one of the Yakuza ends up being his brother, which was like plot twist that nobody gives a shit about. He throws down a sword, and then the Velocipastor puts his hand out, and then the sword flies into his hand like something out of Star Wars. Why?
Magical.
I didn't like that at all. I thought that was like as over the top as this movie was. That was too over the top.
That was the only money they used on VFX.
That was well, and I'm sure they just threw it and then just played it back in reverse. And I was honestly gonna rewind the scene to look at the people in the background to see if they were like walking in reverse, but I was like, I don't honestly give a shit. It was just so stupid. And then the music, I wasn't really a big fan of the music they put. It was so grungy and like alternative. Yeah, and there was like some I've never heard any song that was in this, but they all seem like legitimate songs.
They probably had to use. So whenever I look for music and stuff like that for like to use in the podcast or something, it's all it's not copyright free. It is, but it's also like you don't even have to give credit to the author who made it.
Yeah.
They just made it so you can use it.
They just put it out there.
Some of them, they're like, hey, just put my name in the description with the link. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Okay, yeah.
But, like, I'm guessing that's what they did for the soundtracks for all of this movie.
Probably. Like, I watched it with the subtitles on, as I usually do, and the lyrics of all of the songs were just dumb as fuck. And, like I said, it sounded like official music that I've never heard before. And it was just weird. I don't know. And I know that's a weird thing to not like about a movie about a fucking pastor that's friends with a hooker that convinces him to fight crime as a velociraptor. But
in theory, what they did was they went to SoundCloud and asked an alternative punk band.
Probably.
They're like, hey, we're making a movie. It's not, I can't pay you.
We can literally give you like $10. We're maxed out after renting this Chevelle.
We got this. This.
I have one VFX scene where there's a lady that explodes, and that's all I can afford.
That was my budget. We spent all of our money on like 20 gallons of fake blood.
Yeah. We're shooting this in our backyard, for Christ's sake. So
but
oh, that was something else. It just reminded me that I forgot to mention, okay? In the beginning, after his parents die, and he's talking to his, what would you call the other pastor there? His like
I would just call him another pastor.
Another pastor, but that's like his like he's the other pastor's like protege or something like that. So he's like his mentor. We'll say that. So he's talking to his mentor after his parents explode, and die, and he's all sad, of course. And he's like, his exact line was, "Go where you think God will not follow, and if you find him there, then you will know that it was always meant to be, or whatever."
And then cue the
Goes to China. that was when you think of go where God will not follow. First place he thought of, China.
If I had to pick
So
somewhere,
random.
I would either go with Vegas or like
Vegas, yeah. that's
North
probably
Korea.
true, yeah.
I literally have no idea. Afghanistan.
It was just so random, and then it plays a scene of like him fucking in a car driving to China. I guess
Driving to China.
it made it seem like he drove to China.
drove across the water to China.
There was even a scene, and that's what cracked me up too, where he's like, how normal like cars, especially in like, let's say like Kill Bill, because every time she's in the car, and it's obviously them in a fake car with green screen all around them,
Yeah.
or however they do it, as most TV shows and movies do, or whatever. And it's like that same exact thing, except for he's never looking at the road. He was always looking out the window.
That's not how
And
you
then there's
drive.
one scene randomly where he's like backing up, and then he's driving again, and it was just so random to me. I don't know. It was something so simple as sitting in a car acting like you're driving. Ruined that too. Couldn't even get that right.
Nailed the
and that-
Velocipastor thing now.
Nailed the Velocipastor thing, I guess. Yeah, this is kind of weird.
I'd like to see it in the new Jurassic World. Just a Velocipastor.
Maybe they'll have a collab.
I doubt it.
Velocipastor World. I love when he's doing the workouts. Was he like, yeah, and then he's doing the sit-ups
And then he's
to pray. That was cracking me up. Yeah, he's doing sit-ups on a table to put like praying stands.
Pray.
And it was so random.
Just a speed bag with a cross.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What else did I have? That was pretty much it. That's all my likes. And that's all my dislikes. Yeah, I ran through those too.
Believe it or not, I didn't really dislike.
It was really hard to find things that I disliked because, I mean, obviously, let's be real.
This movie was not.
This movie's garbage.
Yeah. But
Like-
it's like
In an actual, like, serious, seriousness of the movie, like, the whole movie is terrible. But it's the fact that it knows it's terrible and just runs with it and has fun with it that it makes it good.
yeah.
So that's what made me like I had a hard time finding out specific things that I just absolutely did not like about the movie.
I really like even when I was taking notes. I mean, there was about 10 minutes when I was doodling a T-Rex that I was just not paying attention.
I was
to.
like I said, I woke up this morning and I had like zero energy, so I was literally laying down on my couch and I thought I was actually gonna fall asleep. But somehow like it kept me invested.
Yeah,
That's what I don't understand. A movie that's so dumb and has like the dumbest plot twist.
I was literally trying to draw the T-Rex from Rugrats.
The
Or Reptar.
Reptar, yeah.
I was trying to draw a Reptar on my notepad, and after about halfway through, I look up to see the Chinaman being beheaded, and
Yeah.
then the quote. And I was like,
It's the Gandhi quote to nothing,
What makes-
and then
here's I don't even know how. Basically, if you're watching this movie, if you started out, pause the movie. Like I get it, there's some movies that like you can just run back real quick. You haven't missed much.
yeah.
Like
I mean, this movie isn't that long.
no, I know, but like there's so many like it's a quick transition.
Yeah.
So like I went to go and pee like right after the VFX explosion thing.
Yeah.
Came back, I don't even know what happened, but they were just in confession and it looked so weird. And I was like, okay, I've clearly missed something. Let me rewind. And I was like, okay, didn't miss anything, but yet somehow I did.
It's that's why I was laughing, because a lot of times whenever I'm watching the movies we review and stuff like that, obviously we take notes and stuff like that. And sometimes I will literally have to pause the movie to write something down before I forget it or whatever, because I don't have that very good of a memory. But also, like with this movie, I just ran it through. I didn't pause it at all. But I kept find myself like wanting to, because it was just so random and sporadic with not only the plot, with everything else going on. Like I didn't want to miss something, but like you said, like missing it without missing it. Like you don't want to miss something, but in the end it doesn't matter. It doesn't pertain to anything. or the characters or the plot, but
literally-
like you
yeah.
also just kind of want to see what happens and how dumb it could be.
Yeah.
And that's really
Dude,
what
that's
happened.
it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I got nothing.
There was one thing.
I would change everything about this movie.
I mean, I pretty much, yeah, obviously, in like a normal sense of like movie making, you're gonna want to change the entire movie and how dumb it is.
Literally everything I would change. About
Yeah, but at the same time, like I already went over like what I would change. The constant camera zooms that were so stupid, but like I don't know, it made sense. It's funny, and they were trying to have fun with it, but it was dumb. Like whenever he wakes up in her bed after he killed that guy or whatever,
Yeah.
and she's like, he turned into a dinosaur, and he stands up and he's like, and it like zooms in and then zooms in on her.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then zooms in on him, and then zooms in on her.
It's like those.
And it does it back and forth like 3 times.
You know, nobody will probably know this, but maybe now as an adult, you know how when you go to school, you know, they play those TV dramas for all those housewives at home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like occasionally you stay home sick one day and you're like, oh fuck, it's only
You
just
watch,
like the
soap
judge
opera.
shows.
Yeah.
Guess I'm watching the soap opera.
Yeah.
Something dramatic happens and they like really
Yeah.
fucking zoom in on their face.
Yeah.
That's what it was, but it was
It's a lot like
so
that.
much faster.
It was very.
It was
yeah,
like
it's
somebody
very
just grabbed the
true.
lens and just got fucking quick
It's-
sets on them.
They have like whenever I used to, you know, whenever I was doing the production thing, and like it's literally 2 buttons to unless you have like the fancy ones,
Yeah.
you know, with the stands. But this is I'm
You
gonna
just
say
hit the
80% of this
button,
movie was shot
and
over
it's
the
just-
shoulder. And like okay, like the I knew it was pretty much shot over the shoulder, like whenever he's running away.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he wakes up in her house after he's been a velociraptor, and obviously he's naked, and he's like, "Do you have something I can wear?"
And he puts on
And then
a
it
fucking
shows
dress.
him in the forest, and he's wearing a fucking dress, like this skin tight, like orange dress, and it was the most random thing ever. But I don't know why he didn't go home and just change. Regardless, once again, having fun with it. But like I said, like the part whenever he wakes up and it's doing the zoom in thing, it was like normal zoom in. There's zoom in. Like it was almost like they were trying to zoom past all the characters' faces and stuff like that.
So
And
dumb.
it would just trail off the random shit too, and I don't know. It was stupid, and I didn't like the zooming. The random Gandhi quote, I thought that was strange.
I was
to just
expecting-
throw in random. I don't even remember what the quote was, but just to pause the movie freeze frame, random Gandhi quote, and then go back to the movie was like the most random thing you could have done.
I was for some reason, I was expecting the Fallout 4 intro thing. They're like, war never changes. That's honestly,
It's just stupid.
this is what this is gonna be, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or it's like, shit, what was that movie?
Do you like how the beginning said rated X by a Catholic audience or something like that? What did it say?
It was something along those lines, but that mean
That was so random to me, too.
X means pornography for a rating.
Yeah, X is like no rating, pretty much.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, it's like
Because there's like a they'll be like, this film has not been rated, and that's the rating for it. It's not.
it's
rated.
not actually rated X. I think it's like PG-13.
Yeah, it's
or
PG-13
something, but-
because there's an NR rating, which normally happens.
Yeah.
And then they do their screen tests. And
Okay.
and then that's how they get it. The X rating is like there's hardcore penetration in this movie. But I mean, like, softcore, you can get away with an R rating, but you don't see
Yeah.
maybe
but-
like a nipple. But like,
But yeah, that's why I thought it was random when that popped up at the beginning, because I thought like
Oh, I-
legitimately there was gonna be like a hardcore sex scene.
but
There was not.
They
But
had a priest falling away from the church. He turned into a velociraptor. There were prostitutes and drug use. Yeah, I'm sure the Catholic Church was like, "This is rated X." No, thank you.
the fucking like the sex scene between him and the girl was like an acid trip of all the different shots and everything that was going on. Like basically
It was
when they were doing coitus, and it doesn't really show it,
so formal.
but I'm trying to be formal. But it then just cuts to like it's a shot of them laying on each other, you know, naked, but you can't see anything obviously. But then it like while it's doing that, like transparent wise, it's showing in small clips the whole entire movie up to that point. And then it like has that thing where it shows like his face in frame,
Yeah.
and then it shows her face in frame, and he's got like a green light on him, and she has a red, and it's like, and it was just.
It's like they're trying to give you a flashback of how they met 15 minutes ago.
It was like an acid trip kind of a thing, you know?
It was like playing
just
red light, green light.
At a certain point, it was like they were just trying to throw in fillers, so they just used the footage from the first half of the movie and just kind of cut it in.
They're like
20 seconds.
How long can you make this sex scene? We want it as real as possible. I could probably fake it for about 5 minutes and then we're done.
But it was so weird too because it's like they were like going out to hold each other's hands and stuff like that. It was like this slow-mo like climactic of like the hand of God kind of thing
just
where they're
reaching
like
down like take my hand.
it was just so weird.
I didn't understand it, but
and then they woke up and ninjas broke in their house.
which also is
And
just
then they
like,
kicked all the ninjas' asses.
which
And then made out hardcore.
Like,
over their
oh.
like half dead bodies, I guess.
we just fucked. Ninjas are here now. You know what? Let's make out on their corpses and do it again.
Yeah. That was so random. But then again, that's just this fucking movie.
That's the movie.
It's I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have anything else I would change. That's literally it for me. It was
I would
weird.
change literally everything about this movie.
Like in reality, yeah, in the
But
sense that you actually want to watch a good movie, then yes, I would change everything about
If
this
I
movie.
could pick one thing,
Mhm.
just one thing, it would make him an actual Velociraptor and not a T-Rex. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's true.
That's it.
Probably, yeah. I think the only reason they probably would have called it Velocity-Rex.
It sounds.
Or I'm sorry, not Velocity-Rex. How would you even do that? T-Rex-a-pastor?
That sounds like the T-Rex is about to fuck a pastor.
Pastor-Rex?
Pastor-Rex with
Something like that?
but it would be like
T-Priest?
it would be like Pasto Dash Rex. Pasto Rex.
Pasto-Rex.
I still like
So that
Tyrannosaurus.
to me, that makes me...
Tyrannosaurus Pope.
Tyrannosaurus Pope would be good.
He'd have to be a Pope.
I think you said... No, you didn't say Tyrannosaurus Pope.
I
I thought
did.
you said something else to start with a P. I can't remember.
Pterodactyl Pope, but that's
Pterodactyl Pope. No, but like I think they would have like changed the name, but then they got the costume and they were like, well, I mean it's tiny, because it is like a T-Rex
Yeah.
costume, but then obviously it's on a person, so they're like, it's closer to the Velociraptor just because this is like a T-Rex but smaller, and that's where they got the name of this movie.
yeah. I mean, other than that, what would you rate this movie?
I don't know, and I left it blank. I have
I would
no
like to
idea.
rate this movie X.
On a serious note, like
I want to give it an X.
on a serious rating, you want to give it a straight 0
Yeah.
because this movie's garbage. It's dog water. It's very apparent. Like I said, in the first fucking opening scene, it's dumb.
This movie was like if somebody gave you an idea for a movie, you ran it by a high school, that high school ran it by a kindergarten. The kindergarten was like, hey, you should add more dinosaur.
Yeah.
And then you brought it back to the high school, and the high school was like, you know what'd be cool though if there was a pope in there, and then they added in the pope.
The high schoolers would be like, you know what would be cool? Hookers. Yeah, let's do a hooker.
And they just
It's his
reference
best
this.
friend.
They're like, this is present day. There should be a white pimp with the weirdest fucking comb over in the world. And then, you know what? Just shot in the dark. Add a Vietnam flashback in there.
And ninjas.
Ninjas.
And
It has to be ninjas.
That's true. We have
And
to
then,
appeal to all audiences.
Like a redneck ninja's apprentice in film. Add that in there. Because, like, what was... And I know I already said my likes and dislikes. Remember when they were
It's like
talking
one
at the
Australian
tent?
guy. And he's like, make one of the ninjas Australian, huh?
Remember when they were having their, like... They were talking about how the drug shipment was going to be on time and everything like that when they were at the tents. And
yeah, which was like the most
and
random
he
thing
had
to
like
try to.
He had like a baklava on or something. Like literally,
Yeah.
it was just like this, and he
Yeah.
had and then he like took it off to talk to the guy.
It looked like he had like a napkin that was tied
Yeah,
around the
it
ears or
literally
something
looked like
that. And every time he talked, he'd pull it down, which made it make no sense.
It's like
but-
people that wear masks and they're like, Wait, did you hear me? Hold on, did you get that? What? But like,
Yeah, order number 3, thank you.
what was funny to me, they're just like. I've seen so many people do that though, so like you can't tell me I'm
People
wrong.
do that.
Just pull it down and cough. But what I was gonna say is they were going over their evil plans, and they all started. Remember, they both started laughing.
Oh, the terrible laughing.
They were
Yeah.
because there was like.
Yeah, the white guy. Yeah.
And then he was just like.
And it would stop laughing.
And then they would just immediately.
And then
come back to it.
and then it would zoom in on their face every time they fucking did it too. And another thing with the zooms.
And it would just they changed the laugh tones. It was an evil one, and there was a really just a menacing
like an actual
one.
comedic laugh.
And
too,
then they were just laughing,
in there
and then there was a girly laugh, and then back to menacing.
Well, that's what. Whenever they captured the one-eyed, at this point he had an eye patch on.
Yeah.
The older pastor or
Because he
whatever.
fucking.
And then they try to somehow cross over how this drug triad or whatever the fuck it is with the churches, and he's like, what do churches and drugs have to do with each other? And then that one guy just comes out of nowhere, he's like, they have everything to do with each other. And it was the most random thing ever. They tried to explain it like they were going to take people off the drugs so they would then have withdrawals and turn to God. And it was like a win-win scenario for both of them or whatever. I don't know. It was like the most random things you could put together. It made no sense.
It made absolutely no sense.
Zero sense. And for some odd reason, they kept throwing in random shit like that.
For me, my rating for this movie is.
And also, they called him the Dragon Warrior, but he's a Velociraptor, which was, I don't
If I
know.
were a caveman and I saw a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex, I would assume that would be a fucking dragon because I would just see his head. Over a tree line, I would just see his head and I'd be like, that's scary, there's this dragon in the way, going back to my fucking cave. So I'm not even fucking with that. I'm not gonna rate this movie.
I don't know if I can rate it either.
I can't
I
rate this.
can't seriously
Now,
rate it.
what I
rate
can
it.
do is tell you to watch it at least once.
It's definitely worth watching once, yeah.
Don't pay for this movie.
No, don't
If
pay
you
for
have
this
an
movie
Amazon
under any
subscription,
circumstances.
Cool, go watch it. You can find it on other streaming platforms. You just have to Google it, and then it's there.
Mhm.
And because if you have a Crackle's free, pretty sure. You can just go and watch it.
Pretty sure, yeah, you can.
There's a whole bunch of
everything.
hold on, just I'm googling it, and then
I don't have Crackle, but yeah. At this point, everybody has Amazon Prime. Let's be real. If you don't, you're stealing somebody else's Amazon Prime. Let's be real.
so you can watch it.
Everybody watch The Boys. Nice voice crack on my part. That's okay. Only 28 years old.
Okay, on Tubi, don't know what that is. Voodoo,
Tubi is
Crackle,
another thing, yeah.
Fubo, Amazon Prime, Hello, YouTube. Well, no, you have to pay for those. So Voodoo and Crackle and Tubi, all free
Streaming.
all free streaming services, and you can watch it on there and just call it a day. And you don't even have to pay for it. You'd probably just have to deal with some ads, which, in fairness, is okay.
Honestly, I feel like the ads would be refreshing because it'd be the actual most seriousness out of the whole movie.
You get some nice period commercial or something about gastrointestinal yogurt that helps keep you regulated.
Yeah.
I didn't say the name of it, but I described what it does.
Yeah, the yogurt that helps you poop, I know.
Yeah, from the Halloween lady.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I wasn't going to say her name.
I'll say it.
Okay. Anyways,
Can't say Jamie Lee Curtis.
you can. But if
No, I
you say
know.
it 3 times, she will appear.
I'm okay with that.
I
I want to
wouldn't.
ask her how this new Halloween movie's gonna be.
It looks badass.
It does look badass.
So,
I didn't watch the last one.
I'm just
but
gonna say this.
I'm kind of over.
For the people that are listening to this podcast right now, hopefully in the next 2 days, you'll have another podcast out for Venom, because I am going to watch that opening night.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going out tomorrow and watching it at 10 o'clock at night. Feel free to join us.
I can't go tomorrow.
You definitely, opening night, 10 o'clock, there's nobody in the theater.
No, I know, but I can't go at night.
There's no opening during the day.
Yeah.
I mean, if I found one,
There's people that are gonna go, but
I was going to say, if I found, I can find one. If you want to watch it during the day, you would just have to come and get me, and I could pay for our movie tickets.
no, I can't. We'll figure that out. But yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to go and watch it tomorrow and do either a solo review or you can ask me questions about it.
Honestly, I still haven't seen the first one.
I'll do a solo podcast.
I still haven't done the first one.
You got Mortal Kombat?
The only reason is because
I'll do Woody Harrelson.
I don't know. I'm so back and forth if I want to. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I've heard nothing but good things. But I don't know. It's just like
Whenever they did their test screening for it, the movie was rated R, and then it dropped down to a PG-13, which I wanted Woody Harrelson to be more badass. So
I read or I heard an interview, I think like comicbook.com did with him, not Woody Harrelson, but Tom Hardy, and they asked him about rated R ratings and stuff like that. And he said they could, but they don't want to because they want it to appeal to a higher audience. So, you know, they want to make it rated R, but also they want you to be able to go with like your grandma and shit. So that's why they don't do that.
Oh, what's this I see? A young boy and a black spider.
Why is the booger with teeth eating that guy?
Why is there a red mucus man?
Pretty much, yeah. It's just so strange to like try to explain that
I don't know why you would want
somebody who has no idea what
you
you're
can
talking about.
you can take a 10-year-old to go to an R-rated movie. Now, if they scream or they get scared, that's on them. You're gonna have to leave. But I would not want to take a grandma because she would just ask me a million questions.
I would take my grandma, my nan.
You would take your grandma.
I would take my nan, yeah. She'd be hilarious. That would.
Well, never mind.
We'll think about that. Maybe I'll take my nan. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. She would have
I
to
will
go
watch it again.
She would never want to go see that. She would have no reason to see that.
That there be carnage. What's this?
Yeah.
This is so much death.
That's like the exact opposite of what my grandmother sounds like.
I just assume all old people sound like they're about to offer you a Werther's.
But
Hey there, Garrett. Would you like a brother?
regardless, I think if you want to go watch it and do the podcast, you're more than welcome to. I'll sit out for that one.
No, you're gonna ask me questions about it.
I mean, maybe. I don't know if I can get over here again.
You can take your mic.
Because we'll figure it out. I don't know.
Figure out. Anyways, guys, do the outro music.
That's pretty much it.
It's been a good one. Not rating this movie.
No rating.
No rating.
We can't.
X by the Catholic
The Catholic
apprentices. I don't know.
audiences.
Not
whatever it
Catholic.
was, yeah.
Anyways, if you like this, make sure to let us know. If you're watching it on YouTube, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Suggest a movie for us. Literally, please, because we had to watch this movie. So,
Can we talk about the other movie we were thinking about doing?
no.
No? I'm not going to say it, but
okay.
if I point, could you put it up in post?
The one about night.
The space thing.
I don't even want to put that in there.
It's a real.
Okay,
Okay,
no. Here, we'll do this.
We'll just justify it.
So,
It's.
I'm not going to say the name of it, but I will tell you to Google it. Just look up.
Space movie made in 1992.
Yeah.
I think is the name.
Yeah.
If you literally Google that, it'll pop up.
Just Google that to make sure.
Can we just throw it up and post it?
I am not putting that up there.
We're not. It's.
I can't do that. No. YouTube will ban you just for
It's
that.
the name of a movie though.
It doesn't even matter.
80% of people that watched it liked it somehow.
Another
And
short
it's-
movie.
It's,
But it's a 26-minute run.
oh, it's only 26 minutes long. I didn't even read that.
We're gonna watch this though. Anyways. Look up Space Movie made in 1992. I almost was like, here's a picture of it, but there is not going to be any pictures in
I think
post.
we should throw it
I'm
up.
not doing it. I
We
can't
don't
even.
have to.
So if you're listening,
It's a legitimate movie. Like, it has a rating and everything.
it has a rating and everything. But
Tyler sent me this, and I was like,
what are you talking about?
"Well, you told me
No,
to
no, no,
Google
no.
search, yeah." And I was like, "Why are you asking me to Google search the name of a movie if you know the name of the movie?" And they told me, and then I Google searched it. And if you Google search it, you will understand why we said to do it
I
that
was
way.
watching TikToks and I was like, there's no way anything pops up. And it did. And then I was talking to somebody at work and I was like, hey, you know what would be funny? You could tell me a popular space movie made in 1992. And they just started rattling off stuff that wasn't even close. I was just like, just Google space movies from 1992 and tell me your top 3. That's the one that popped up.
Yeah, that's the one that pops up every time.
What?
'Cause nobody wants to type it out, but then it pops up. Yeah.
That's
I didn't want to do that movie because it's too racy, but I kind of wanted to watch that movie.
I want to watch it, but I don't want to. I can't even put that in the title. It would all be asterisks.
Would it though? Even if it's the name of a movie?
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I can't even.
I don't want to say it, but
I'm not
just
saying.
If you look it up, you'll know.
Anyways, check out our Instagram. We'll probably post something from this on there.
Mhm.
And then that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
you've been doing. Have you been putting on
TikToks?
Yeah.
I'm about to make a TikTok as soon as we get done with this.
Oh, of this or
Sorta,
like-
kinda,
Oh, okay. Well,
kinda.
regardless.
But yeah,
TikToks, yeah.
we're on TikTok, beard and a half. Something. I think it's just beard and a half. So check us out there as well. And for beard and a half movie reviews, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Garrett.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.